marbling, etc. of leather. The following 4 liquids are essential for several of the sprinkles and marbles hereafter to be described. Brown. Dissolve 1/4 pound of the best potash in a pint of rainwater. When clear, it may be bottled for use. Black. Boil 1/4 pound of copperas in a quart of soft water. When properly settled, it may be put into a bottle for use. Vinegar black. Steep iron filings in vinegar or stale beer for about 20 hours. Let them boil quickly on the fire, after which, when thoroughly settled, the liquid may be bottled for use. Vitriol water. Mix 2 ounces of the best oil of vitriol with 6 ounces of water and bottle it for use. Dark sprinkle. With a sponge and weak potash water, wash the cover of the book and place it, immediately afterwards, between wands, with the boards extended, and sprinkle it very dark and fine with the copperas water. In addition to the above dark sprinkle, a sprinkle of the brown liquid and vitriol water will considerably improve the beauty of the cover. Red spots. Mix, in a bottle, 1/2 tablespoonful of spirits of salts, 1 ounce of the best double aquafortis, 1/4 ounce of green tin, and 2 ounces of rainwater. The whole should remain about 20 hours previous to using. In addition to this mixture, a portion of aqua regia will be necessary. Let the cover of the book be first blacked with copperas water, and when dry, give it a coat of Brazil red. Then mix together a portion of aqua regia and dry Brazil, and, when thoroughly settled, place the book between wands, and spot the cover over with the red liquid. When perfectly dry, the cover must be washed with a sponge and water. Yellow spots. First, black the cover of the book, and, when perfectly dry, place it between wands. Then mix a portion of aqua regia and turmeric together, and when thoroughly settled, throw on large or small yellow spots, as may suit the fancy. Red and yellow spots. First black the cover, then place the book between the wands. Throw on the yellow spots, and when quite dry, throw on small spots of the liquid red. Wash the cover with a piece of clean sponge and water, and take care not to mix more colors with the spirits than are absolutely wanted. Common marble. Let the cover be first washed over with weak potash water, after which it must have 1 coat of glaire. When perfectly dry, place the book between the wands, and with a brush or a bunch of quills, throw on water in all directions, and immediately after, while the water is yet running on the covers, with other brushes sprinkle with copperas water and brown. After the marble has remained a few minutes, wash it with a clean sponge and water. Sponge marble. This is performed in the same way as the above method, with the exception that, instead of using brushes, the liquids are to be applied with pieces of sponge, which are to be dabbed on the cover in various directions, applying first the water, then immediately upon it the copperas water, and lastly the brown. When dry, wash the cover with a clean sponge and water. Footnote: in all the recipes for marbling, mind that the colors have sufficient time to dry, as they are then likely to have their full effect, and show their brightness to more advantage. End footnote. Tree marble. A marble may be formed somewhat to resemble a tree, by first washing and glairing the cover, and then bending the boards on each side, so as to form them into a slight semicircle. Sprinkle with water, copperas water, brown, and wash the cover, as directed for common marble, and it will be found that the bend in the boards has caused the liquids to run in a suitable direction for producing the intended effect. Another marble. Wash the cover with rather strong potash water and glare it. When dry, place the book between wands, throw on water, vinegar black, and lastly a fine sprinkle of vitriol water, which will be a great improvement to the marble. Transparent marble. Place the book between the wands. Marble the boards with a tree on each center, and put on each board an oval, made of a thin piece of paper, and bind it to the boards with pieces of lead. Black the cover on the outer parts of the ovals, and when thoroughly dry, go over the same with strong basil water. Then throw on red spots, and when dry, take off the ovals. Wash the portion of the cover where the red spots are with a piece of clean sponge and water. If the inside of the ovals be colored with the following liquid, it will have a very pleasing effect. Mix together spirits of wine and powdered turmeric, in the proportion of half an ounce of the former to half a tablespoonful of the latter. Put the liquid into a bottle, shake it well, and let it settle before using. Give the ovals 2 coats of the liquid with a camel's hairbrush, and when done, cork the bottle up tight to prevent evaporation. Purple marble. When the book is covered and perfectly dry, rub the cover over with strong hot purple liquid, prepared as previously directed, 2 or 3 times. When dry, glare the cover, and put the book between wands. With quills, throw on water, and sprinkle it with strong vitriol water, which will produce bright red veins. After the colors are dry, they must be washed with a sponge and water. Rice marble, with spirits of wine and turmeric, prepared as before mentioned. Color the cover, put the book between wands, and throw on rice in a regular way, according to fancy. Then throw on a neat sprinkle of copperous water, till the cover be nearly black. When dry, sprinkle the cover with red liquid, already described, or potash water, before the rice is thrown off. Egyptian marble. Previous to covering the book, color the leather with Scott's liquid blue, footnote, to be purchased at any color shop, end footnote, and immerse it in water to extract the spirit. After remaining in the water about half an hour, take it out, and place it between pieces of brown paper, till nearly dry. Then cover the book, and place it a small distance from the fire, till thoroughly dry, when it must be glared. Place the book between wands, and throw on it potash water, with a bunch of quills, and lastly a very fine sprinkle of the vinegar black. When the book is nearly dry, it must be washed with a sponge and water. Stone marble. Glare the cover in the usual way, and when thoroughly dry, put the book into the cutting press, with the boards somewhat sloping, so that the colors may run gently down. With a brush, throw on copperous water rather freely, and dip a piece of sponge into some strong potash water, and press it out on different parts of the back, so that the colors may run gently down each side. Where the brown has left a vacancy, vitriol water should be applied in the same manner. After the colors are perfectly dry, wash the cover with a clean sponge and water. Green marble. In addition to the preceding marble, use Scott's liquid blue in the same manner as the other colors, and previous to finishing the marble with vitriol water. Wainscot marble. Color the cover with the strong brown liquid already mentioned, and glare it. Then place the book between wands, with the boards flat and even. Throw on water till every part of the boards be covered. Then take a sufficient portion of copperous water in the brush, and dash it freely on the boards. Do the same with potash water, and finally, throw on a bold sprinkle of vitriol water. This is a beautiful marble, if done with attention and care. Another marble. First black the cover with copperous water, and when dry, give it 2 coats of strong Brazil water. Mix whiting and water to rather a thick consistency, and throw it on the cover in spots or streaks, and let it remain till dry. Then give the cover a bold sprinkle of the liquid red already mentioned. Chinese marble. First color the cover with a dark brown, and then place the book between wands. Use whiting and water as above directed, and let it remain till dry. Sprinkle the cover with liquid blue, after which throw on large spots of the liquid red. When the colors are perfectly dry, wash off the whiting. Red marble. Previous to covering the book, the cover must be immerged for near 3/4 of an hour in weak lime water, and afterwards dried between sheets of brown paper. Then mix 1/2 ounce of Brazil dust, 1/2 teaspoonful of powdered cochineal, a small piece of alum, and 1/4 pint of the best vinegar. Boil these on a slow fire till the whole produces a bright red. While this liquid is hot, color the cover 2 or 3 times over, and then immerge it in water, in which a piece of alum has been previously dissolved. Now draw the cover on, and let it be perfectly dry. Then glare it, and put the book between wands. Throw on potash water with quills, and sprinkle it with vinegar black. If a few drops of aqua regia be added to the liquid previous to covering the cover, it will give it a much brighter and more permanent red. Japan marble. Give the cover 1 coat of potash water, 2 of Brazil wash, and glare it. Then place the book between wands in such a position that the boards slope a little. Dash on copperous water. Then, having a piece of sponge full of the red liquid in readiness, press out on the back and on different parts large drops, which should run down on each board, and will by this means produce a fine shaded red. After the cover is perfectly dry, it should be washed over 2 or 3 times with Brazil wash, which will give the color a brighter appearance. Colors for leather. It sometimes occurs that books which are marbled on the sides have their backs of one entire color. When such is the case, previous to marbling, etc., a piece of thin pasteboard must be placed on the back, to prevent any of the colors affecting it. The following liquids will be found to answer every purpose for coloring. Brown, 1/4 pound of potash dissolved in a pint of rainwater. When settled, bottled it for use. Blue, color first with copperous water, and afterwards give 2 coats of liquid blue. Green, color twice with Scott's liquid blue, and when dry, wash the leather 3 or 4 times with a clean sponge and water. Purple, rub on some strong purple liquid already described near the fire 3 or 4 times at least, and when dry, wash well with clear water. Lead color, color well with copperous water, or copperous and potash water mixed.